Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. And in this video today, I kind of want to continue just a little bit about what I've kind of been talking about in the last few videos. And I know while there really hasn't been one central theme in the last couple videos, I know a topic that has kind of come to mind, especially after making the last video, You Can Only Live One Day at a Time, is the topic of planning ahead. And I would like to talk about this topic because I believe it is very important to plan ahead for the future so we can kind of get a sense of what we should try to do in the future. And, well, when we have a schedule, sometimes that can be very helpful for all of us. Let's take, for example, the word of advice videos which I'm making. Now you see, I have my videos on a schedule. I have actually planned ahead several months in advance on what topics I would like to talk about. And the reason I wanted to do this is because, number one, I feel like I'm more organized when I do this. And number two, if I plan ahead on which topics I want to talk about at a certain time in the year, then that can be more helpful, especially at the time I post a certain topic, because some people at the time are going to be thinking of certain topics at a certain time in the year. But let's say, for example, in July, you're about to start college, and you're very fearful of what college is going to be like. Well, I believe, in my case, planning ahead and posting a video sometime in July or early August, which can relate to not really having to be scared of going to a new school, is the perfect time for me to do that. I believe posting a video on that topic in July or early August is a great time to just kind of remind the world, especially those who are starting college for the first time, that college is not as scary as some people make it sound. So if you can kind of see where I'm going with that, is that I like to plan ahead, and I have found it very helpful since I have planned ahead in the past. And as I continue to plan ahead for the future today, I believe it's coming in handy still. If there's one last point I'd like to make in this video, it's that I believe trying to make a plan for the future is a great idea, especially if you are trying to pursue a certain career, or you're trying to get to that point where you'll be able to achieve something which seems so distant from where you are right now. You know, of course, anything can happen in the present. And as I said, you can only live one day at a time. Anything can change, which could alter the road which you think you're going to go down. But at the same time, thinking of a plan for the future is a great idea, because it's not exactly safe to rely on what might happen. It's good to put a plan together and plan ahead for the future. And if that ends up being the plan which you'll stick with, then if that's a plan which works out for you, then I think in the end you will probably see that planning ahead can be very helpful. And whether that comes to planning ahead in a certain hobby, like what I'm doing with my videos, or if you're planning ahead because you're pursuing a career, in the end, planning ahead can be very helpful sometimes. So just keep this in mind as you're going through life and you're thinking, what should I do in the future in this certain case? I believe planning ahead can be very helpful, and I would have to say from experience that it has been very helpful for me. So at least consider it in the future if you are thinking in the future about how you're going to complete a certain hobby or how you're going to get to a certain destination in your life someday. Think of planning ahead, and hopefully good things will happen from doing so. And with that, this is pretty much all the advice that I really have to talk about in this video. I certainly hope what I've talked about will come in handy. Come back for another word of advice video.